Hey guys, Andrew here with another video in a new series altogether. What this series is going to be about is kind of my opinion on what God is. And first and foremost, I want to say that nothing that I say is ever actually going to quantify or qualify as what God actually is, because He's infinite. Every single thought that I have is a thought that He done created and that He expected me to have, and that was put there to help me understand and help you understand. And it's never actually going to, qualify what God is. It's just more or less going to help us understand ourselves, our own reality, and, help us understand why we're here, what our purpose is, and things like that. And so that's what this series is about. And I've just spent a ton of time, thinking about what God is, as all of us probably have, because, growing up, a lot of us are put in families where there's a religion that we're supposed to be faithful towards, and that our parents take us to whatever church or temple that, is the follower of their God. And very few of us actually had parents. I was lucky because I did, but very few of us had parents that were so in tune with God that they realized that no religion is actually capable of quantifying what God is. And no thought will ever actually explain Him, because He's infinity. There's no way that you can label infinity. It's ever going, it's constantly growing, it's infinite. Even the universe as a whole, it barely compares to what God is, because there's things like time and form that are what make up our universe, and God has to be the creator of time and form. And then that brings you to a level where you're like, alright, well, then what did God create time and form with? And there's not really any way to answer that. But what you can do is you can think for yourself. Well, and that's what this series is going to be about. I'm going to be thinking with you, more or less, about what things I have learned from going into that level, where it's like, alright, well, if there's another realm in which God lives, and He used certain chemical reactions in order to create time and space, in which He used to make the Big Bang grow outwards and externally, then whatever He used, time and space, they work hand in hand, because what is the purpose of space if it doesn't have any time to grow in, to express itself in? So it's like, although there's no actual answer to what He used to, make time, space in this universe, the simple fact that He did yields some kind of evidence to what our purpose is and what we're supposed to do. And so in that scenario, it just, why would He have the Big Bang if there wasn't period of time in which things were going to expand? Maybe that period of time is infinite and we're just going to constantly expand outwards, but for the most part, we're all form, we're all inside of time, and so due to that fact, we are all growing, we're all learning, we're all expanding, more or less. Alright, and so what does that mean? Well, that goes kind of back to religion. It's like, some people say that everything is interconnected through consciousness, or that energy, being smaller than any atomic particle or molecule, is God, and consciousness and intelligence is God. But the word consciousness and intelligence is part of a language, and that language was put in place by people, and everything that is man-made is somewhat flawed. So what we think consciousness is and what we think intelligence is probably only barely grazing the surface of what those things are. So by being aware that God is so big and so infinite that he created our minds, and therefore absolutely anything we conjure up inside of our minds and bodies is only going to barely touch the surface of what the actual truth and reality is. Opens up, a vast area in which you can explore and learn and gain information about yourself and about the universe that's around you. And so that's what this series is going to be about, is just trying to understand God. Even though it's impossible, we're going to be trying, we're going to be doing our best in attempt to learn about ourselves and to understand more about our universe, what we're here to do, why any of this is even happening, and so on and so forth. Alright, so I don't really want to start any first topic or first point or anything in this video, because I want to start making my videos short and concise and to the point and all that good jazzy stuff, so that it's easy and enjoyable to watch and you get lots of information from it. So I'm going to go ahead and end this video here. Hopefully that kind of expands your mind a little bit, helps you understand how little we do know as an entire human race, how little we know, and how much there is opportunity to understand. Because, again, our mind, every single thing that is inside of our mind is something that was planned out by God, something that was put in place by God, because our minds were created by God, and therefore the process in which it goes to create solutions was also created by God. And one could say that, his goal is to get us to a state where we are knowing of all, where we know everything. And so maybe, we're getting close to that ending point, but I want to challenge that and say, there is no ending point. It's infinite. It's constantly growing, because once we reach that all-knowing point, there's always still going to be something bigger. There's always still going to be an extraterrestrial species with aircrafts that can instantly travel through vibrational technology. And once we reach that level, then there's always going to be something higher and higher and higher, something timeless, something formless, something infinitely powerful and all-knowing. Alright, and so hopefully that inspires you and expands your mind to all the opportunities that there are to learn. And that's what we're going to be talking about in this series, is just trying to dive into what God is, at least from my point of view. Hopefully you agree and relate with a lot of the things that I'm saying, and you can get something out of it, as well as I know that I certainly have gotten something out of it by looking. Because too many people, they just want to say, oh, it's about heaven. God's in heaven, and if you believe in God, or you believe in the Messiah, whoever that Messiah is, and you try to be like that Messiah, and that Messiah and have a relationship with that Messiah, then boom, you go to heaven, and boom, snap, good, clarified, figured out life. Now we're just waiting to die and go to heaven. But I want to challenge that also and say that is not God who made that religion. That's just a person who made that religion. And anything that we have come to believe, understand, and believe or understand in this lifetime is more or less something that was programmed into us by a previous generation and other beings. And so we have to kind of break out of that programming and expand the real reality of infinite possibilities, possibly multi-dimensional realities, and actually look into those things. And so that's what this series is going to be about. Again, hopefully it makes you inspired and interested to keep watching all the videos, but either way, I'm going to keep posting them and keep watching, keep thinking about the topics, and hopefully you will be interested in watching them. And just to add to that, I have a couple other series that are all kind of similar. They're all about kind of a similar thing. It's like they're diving into different aspects of reality, but at the same time they're all interconnected with God a little bit, because God created everything, and so no matter what I'm talking about, it's still going to have something to do with this this series and this playlist. So if you enjoy any of these videos, this video or any upcoming videos, I suggest, and I would appreciate it if you checked out my other videos and so on and so forth. If you're from another series, I would appreciate it if you watched this series, because, you know, not particularly just for me, although it kind of is, because obviously it helps me out every view and every like and comment that I get, but at the same time it helps me out 10 times more to know that people out there are, you know, taking the leap to deprogram themselves and understand the world that they live in a little bit more, as to make change, as to progress humanity forward. And no matter how many views and likes I get, you know, even if I die before any of that happens, it will make my whole entire life worth it if just, you know, 100 people are able to get my message and understand what I'm saying, relate with it, and, you know, build upon it and spread it to other people that they know. So yeah, I guess what I'm saying is that if you enjoyed this video, then you're probably going to enjoy the rest of the series. I appreciate you guys taking the time out of your day to watch it and actually think outside of the box, because it's more respectable than any career or anything. Like, you could be an astronaut or a president, and if you take the time to think about your reality, you got my respect all the way, alright? But anyways, like I said, that's the end of this video. I was trying to keep it short and concise. Hopefully I still did, and you didn't get too bored halfway out, or half of the way through and just cop out. But anyways, I'll see you guys in the next videos, and again, feel free to check out the other series. They should be equally interesting, hopefully. Alrighty, peace out, have a good day, and thanks for watching.